World, it is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023, and looking out the window at Defiance. It's a beautiful sunny day this morning here. Quite a different day than yesterday. Yesterday was in the 70s and humid, really humid yesterday, and this morning it was in the low 60s and no humidity, or normal humidity, I guess. Just a beautiful, gorgeous day, and I think it's going to be in the 80s, but we're looking at some very hot weather later in the week. The devotion for today is entitled Dreaming of God by Rachel Hackenberg. Rachel bases the devotion upon Genesis chapter 28, verses 11 through 13a, New International Version. On his way from Beersheba to Haran, Jacob stopped for the night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones there, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep. He had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth with its top reaching to heaven, and above it stood the Lord. And then Rachel writes, it's an oddly ethereal moment within the dysfunctional story of Jacob, a mystical interruption of this all too earthly tale of family drama. Here we have Jacob fleeing the consequences of a con job pulled on his older twin, Esau, and their father, Isaac. The con was easy enough. All it took was a bowl of stew, a plate of meat and bread, a goatskin disguise, and voila! Jacob stole the family inheritance and birthright for his own. Naturally, Esau promised deadly revenge, so Genesis 28:11 through 13 finds Jacob en route to his uncle Laban's with the plan of laying low for a few years. Fast forward to Genesis 30, and Jacob is working a new con, this time scamming Laban out of family wealth through the art of husbandry. Jacob spends years feeding and breeding Laban's animals, gradually multiplying the flocks that Laban owes Jacob for his labor, while weakening the flocks owned by Laban. Jacob plays the long game against his uncle, making himself a rich man with sheep, goats, camels, donkeys, plus wives, concubines, slaves, and children. But for a moment between these two massive cons, on a solitary night, while traveling from one scheme to the next, with a stone under his head as a pillow, Jacob dreams of God. Completely flawed, accustomed to dysfunction, running on fear, Jacob dreams of God. Between a rock and a hard place, caught up in his sins and their consequences, Jacob dreams of God. Even we, at our most awfully human, can dream of God. In Rachel's prayer, no matter how sin-stricken the day or how rocky the night, keep me dreaming of you. Amen. Well, as I was reading this, I kept thinking about how dysfunctional so many of the stories in the Bible are. We think of these people as heroes somehow, and yet they're very human stories. Sometimes even not really nice stories. With you think about all the things that Rachel mentioned that Jacob did, and the conniving that he did, and all that took place, and yet, seemingly unlike real life, he actually dreams of God. And I think that's possible. And I think when we're feeling bad about things that we've done ourselves, because some of us do feel bad when we do bad things, to remember that we are still God's beloved. And I think that brings to mind the fact that even when there are some people, evil people, less than truthful people, people who take advantage of systems, people who lie, people in places of power who do all that, they're still a child of God. And we could pray, I guess, that God would come into their dreams and that they might change. But we can't control them. The only thing we can control is how we react to them ourselves, is controlling our own selves. So maybe if we spend some time dreaming of God, we'll know how to be and how to act in situations like that. Hope you have a good day, and hope you can enjoy this little cooler weather today before it gets really hot later in the week, and hope to talk to you again soon.